1993 overall PGA World Champion of the men's division with the first in legs, the first in coordination, the first in slalom, Bjorn Dunkerbeck.
When Bjorn was just 8 years old, he and his family moved from their home in Denmark, here to the Spanish island of Gran Canaria, off the northwest coast of Africa. Being competitive windsurfers themselves, his parents, Eugene and Ulla, quickly established their own surfing school in this busy yet beautiful location. That was to become the home of the 6 times world champion, Björn Dunkerbeck. Bjorn loved the island, discovered windsurfing, and soon learned his skills on the waves of Gran Canaria.
Windsurfing has been part of my whole family's life ever since I can remember. Of course, the windsurfing then was a lot different than it is now. It was one big sail, heavy board, about 25 kilos. Very simple, but I still loved windsurfing and I loved to go to the beach. So they opened the windsurfing thing straight away when we got there. We used to go racing in local races like once in a while, like once a month or once every second month, twice a month in the Canaries. Also my mother took me to Spanish Championship because she was racing herself. So obviously when I was going to race World Cup, bigger races, they weren't going to say no, you cannot do it. Of course they loved windsurfing as much as I did. And they thought it was a great opportunity for me to travel the world and do the surfing.
I think it was about when he was 12, 13 years old. We surfed on the big boards at the time and how he was surfing on, you could see it was just growing up with this sport and it was in his body.
In 1984, at the tender age of just 15 and still at school, Bjorn made his World Cup debut in Scheveningen in Holland. It was here that he would come face to face and compete against his hero, the Hawaiian superstar Robin Nash, who had just won the first World Tour the previous year and was now set to retain the title.
He was extremely talented, kept following me around trying to do everything I did. I went home. We made him a board, in fact, to bring back to the Canaries because the first World Cup on the tour that ever took place was in the Canaries. So I brought this board back to give to him, to try and get him to be a sponsor by him. And unfortunately, his dad had already signed him up with that too.
Robbie had just missed out on sponsoring Bjorn. On a trip to Austria, Bjorn was signed to a one-year contract by the board and sail producer F2. There was a clause added to it by his parents though. If he didn't do well that year, he'd have to go back to school. But what more encouragement did the 15-year-old boy need to try his hardest?
I would say I looked up to Robin. I thought he was a very, very good windsurfer. There was a couple other ones. Then all of a sudden I was racing against him and I kind of lost that hero feeling and I had really not gotten any hero feelings for anybody else since then.
There's no question he's one hell of a competitor. Very driven, very professional, very prepared, and obviously as well very competitive. He's pretty much dominated everything we've done for the past several years, and he's done what it takes to continue to stay ahead with material preparation and with training. And he's also grown, to the perfect size for two of our disciplines anyway. and he hasn't let his size become a disadvantage in wave performance, which is not easy as well.
Bjorn excelled in all three disciplines, but it would be his wave duels with Nash that would draw the crowd. It was in the 93 O'Neill Tenerife PBA Wave Dawn Prix that the two would meet, and as always, both men had to pull out all the stops. Nash won the first final, then Bjorn won the second, and it was all down to the decider. Bjorn still has to go for everything against Robbie. Even a three-burst back loop is pulled out of the bag. Bjorn went on to win. Truly moved on from being the pupil to being the master. Robbie has been world champion for 5 years before Bjorn stepped on the scene. And now, like Robbie was to Bjorn, Bjorn is today's windsurfing kid. He's simply the best.
So overall, he's damn good. I wish he wasn't quite so good, you know?
As prize money grows and sponsorship becomes more sought after, the pressure on the professional rider increases in turn. The sailor needs a strong, competitive nature, one goal, one vision.
Really fighting for first, just especially in slalom. For early years I've been working. He was world champion in slalom in '87, and I was on third, of course. The year after I won it, and I won it early years after that. In some ways he's very fast, and I'm very fast, so if one guy's going to win, one guy's going to be second. In many occasions we must too. We used to be friends a long time ago, and then something class happened, and we don't really talk much to each other anymore. Because that can happen in any sports where probably a tough spots, it's very cold. He had a possibility to win, and he always just don't make it, and you kind of build up an aggression in yourself. And I kind of can understand that. The racing is getting tougher all the time. There's more races, there's more prize money, a lot more attention in it, so everything is more professional. And the more professional it gets, it's the bad thing about the sports and the colder it gets. It's more family sport, everybody's family, but no matter if they win or lose, the bigger it gets, the colder it gets.
But Bjorn and Anders are strong competitors. If either one makes a mistake, you can be certain the other will be there to take advantage. In '93 though, no one could take advantage of this man as he got stronger and stronger. At the moment there's no true threat to his dominance in either slalom or forward. In Hawaii, mecca of windsurfing, the proving ground of the best wave sailors in the world. Bjorn now has a hard pull in order to get the best conditions year-round.
I think there's three very nice places in the world, depending on which time of the year. Usually big waves always in the winter, no matter Hawaii or Canary Island, and the stronger winds in the summer. So the best winter conditions at home, for example, is February, March and April, because we get quite big waves and we get quite strong winds too. And also October, November are really excellent here. In the winter time, there's Western Australia is really good. So you have to like kind of go around where trade winds and really big waves are. See, this is what we windsurfers listen to most of the time.
clearly only one thorn in his side when it comes down to competing in the waves. It's Australian Jason Politow. The 1993 Peter Stuyvesant Travel Aloha Classic, they met for the second time that year in the Wave Final. Being the most prestigious wave title of the year, both men dearly wanted to win. In the first round, it's Bjorn who steps up a gear to take the honour. Jason claws his way back in the second round of the double elimination to meet Bjorn. Bjorn tries everything he knows, as did Jason. Both of them go for the biggest air. It's what the judges want to see, and Jason wins the Aloha. It's a blow for Bjorn, though he has some consolation. He wins the PBA Wave Crown.
He was always out there sailing, he was always out there practicing, so, no one can dispute him for being, a slack sailor, and he does deserve to be the world champion.
I've been reborn, time and again. I break down the doors, they build him again. I've been reborn, time and again.
Bjorn always goes for the biggest moves possible, whether it's 4 foot and blown out mud, or mast high and cross shore. In Japan this year, Omazaki was the venue for the sometime World Cup. Again, Bjorn met Jason in the final, but a duel for airspace and wave supremacy ensued. But again, it was Bjorn who had to blow the biggest tail. In 1991, Bjorn felt the need for speed.
Slalom sailing and speed sailing is kind of similar, because wherever it's above the sky, the guy wins. The only main difference is that in slalom you compete against 7 other guys. Nearly in front, you kind of relax and don't have to push yourself anymore. In speed sailing is that you have to push yourself for 500 meters no matter what happens, if there's chop, if there's wind gusts, if there's lows. It's just against the watch. So it's very different, and you got to push yourself the whole time.
Switching away from the race circuit for one event at Tarifa in Spain, Bjorn made this run, and despite wiping out at the end of the course, blasted his way into the record book, setting a new open water speed record. Having turned the speed world on its head, Bjorn left it until July 1993 when he returned to the now famous port of Tarifa in an attempt to push back the limits of speed sailing. He pushed them all right to breaking point. Couldn't set a new record this time, but did still manage to win the event overall with consistently fast runs. After 2 years out of speed sailing, he'd still upstage the experts.
Okay, for everybody who says in the World Cup, I think the final goal is to win it. If you don't want to win it, you don't even have to start.
Something here no longer feels the same. The two of you were trying to hide in the shade of the tree on the other side. Darkness could never hide your beauty from my eyes.
Maybe I got a very good shaper, I got a very good sail designer, my sponsor supporting me, so when I do something in development, it usually goes in the right way. So that motivates you and makes it a lot easier.
Peter Tommen from Switzerland has shaped boards for F2 since 1985 and has been with Bjorn since the start. His shapes are always in demand.
He tells me what his sensations on the water, and he doesn't try to get too technical, which is really nice. So that leaves me the room to design the board around what he says, and not trying to fix the design I made with his ideas. That's probably one of the main mistakes others tell their ships in terms of millimeters and that's what that's beyond
We started together, we built a pretty good friendship. That's important to get the best sports out of it. That really helps us, so he knows where I feel in the water.
Bjorn also does a lot of R&D on his sail, and much his boards, his input and knowledge is invaluable as each sail manufacturer races to produce the best. All the latest technologies are introduced as the industry itself develops with the riders and their abilities.
Easier to handle, so you can, like I said, with 2 fingers instead of importing on, putting on one side, putting in the front, putting in the back. They're going faster, the booms are shorter, the masts are longer, and they're much more stable and easy to sail with.
Without doubt, he's one of the most talented and brilliant windsurfers ever. And after 6 years at the top, what do his rivals think of him?
Got an incredible will. He's really concentrated, I believe. And he's a strong sailor as well, which is important.
He's very good professionally, he does the job perfectly, and I'd say he's going to be a very tough competitor to beat in the future. And not only has he been in the past, but he's still very young, so he has a long way to go.
He's a machine. Everything's perfect.
He trains like anything. He's strong, he's big. I don't know, he's just a machine. What makes him so good? No fear, no guts, no nothing. He's like, everything's mechanical and he'll do whatever he wants to do.
While competing, he may be concentrated and machine-like, but when he breaks away, he'll kick back and do something different. Well, almost different, but he's never far from the self. Does get away from the water though, you still won't find him in front of the TV with a handful of deck bars. He'll be staying fit and having fun, counting by some of the things that get picked up.
Too much on the line, too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planets alive, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, we keep
I do quite a lot of mountain biking, a lot of surfing, a lot of windsurfing. That keeps me pretty fit. Windsurfing alone keeps you very fit. It's good to do other alternatives for this to build up your muscle groups. So far it's been working.
Try to catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades. They'll never see us 'cause we move in the night. We're always ready if they put up a fight. I'll run, I'll climb.
First time I came World Champion, I said, yeah, okay, this is a very nice feeling. Second time was even better. The third time was probably the best. What she knew, there wasn't as much luck involved the first time maybe. But now I've done it 6 times. didn't really change much of being since the 5th time. I always try and go out there and win every contest. And if I do that, then I ultimately become world champion again.
Too much on the line, too much to give in. If you think it's over, then let's start it again. The planets align, the stars burn bright, the sun goes down, let's keep going all night. So listen up,
I don't feel threats by anything. I'm lots of good sailors, yeah, but whoever wants to beat me and become world champion has to work hard for it.
You've had enough, you've had enough. We're renegades. We're renegades. We're renegades.
It's gonna get lots more radical every year. There's no limits in windsurfing whatsoever, and speed and jumping high and working more radical. And that's one good thing about windsurfing, that there's just no limits.
We're renegades.
Just dropping in on a double master and a halfway kick. I mean, there's so much water moving, it's like swimming pools, 10 swimming pools moving all the time. And you just feel the power so much more in the small waves.